There comes a moment in life when you realize that the smallest choices can create the biggest changes, and sometimes all it takes is one simple nightly routine to remind you of your own strength. The idea of taking garlic and honey for 7 nights might sound basic, maybe even too ordinary to matter, but hidden inside that single spoonful is something far more powerful than most people expect. It's not just about the ingredients or what they do inside your body, but about the decision to take control of your health, to show up for yourself, and to break the cycle of delaying the life you truly want. As you begin this journey, you're not just swallowing a mixture, you're swallowing courage, intention, and the belief that change is possible for you no matter your age, your past, or your current challenges. This is the beginning of a small habit that can unlock a much bigger transformation, awakening the part of you that still wants to grow stronger, live better, and feel more alive every single day. Small, consistent habits like taking garlic and honey at night can spark major lifestyle transformation. And the real power of this idea lies not in the ingredients alone, but in the rhythm you create when you show up for yourself every single day. When you commit to something so simple, something so achievable that it cannot overwhelm you, your mind starts to shift. Instead of feeling stuck, you begin to feel capable. Instead of believing big change requires big struggle, you start to see that real transformation begins with tiny, steady steps. Every night when you prepare that small mixture, you reinforce a message inside yourself. I am choosing my health. I am choosing my energy. I am choosing a better version of my life. That message grows stronger each time you follow through. And soon, this one action becomes the seed from which greater habits begin to grow. When you repeat this habit for 7 nights, your brain starts building new pathways. The act becomes familiar, almost natural. You stop forcing yourself and start flowing with the routine. It becomes your moment of stillness in the day, a moment where you reflect, breathe, and reconnect with yourself. You start feeling more in control because consistency builds confidence. Even if the habit is small, the discipline it creates is powerful. You begin realizing that if you can stick to this one routine, you can stick to others too. You can drink more water. You can add more colors to your meals. You can stretch for 10 minutes. You can fall asleep earlier. The momentum spreads into the rest of your life without you even noticing at first. What makes garlic and honey at night such a meaningful starting point is the sense of simplicity and accessibility. Anyone can do it. It doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated steps. It takes less than a minute, which means there is no room for excuses. And because it is so easy, your mind stops resisting. You don't dread it. You don't postpone it. And because you complete it without struggle, your brain rewards you with a small sense of accomplishment each night. This feeling might seem subtle, but it gradually strengthens your belief that you are capable of taking care of yourself. For many people, especially older adults who feel like their energy or motivation has faded over time, this one habit can feel like reconnecting with an old part of themselves that still believes in growth, healing, and possibility. Over the course of 7 days, you begin noticing small shifts. Maybe you feel lighter in the morning. Maybe your digestion feels calmer. Maybe your breathing feels clearer. Maybe your sleep deepens just enough that you wake up a little more refreshed. These small physical improvements reinforce your commitment. You start looking at food differently, not as something that fills you, but as something that fuels you. You begin thinking twice about late-night junk food. You start adding a little more balance to your meals because your body genuinely wants better nourishment when it experiences even a slight improvement. And this is the beauty of small habits. They stack. One leads to another. Garlic and honey at night becomes the quiet foundation for better decisions. You find yourself drinking more water because you want to support the benefits of your nightly routine. You take a short walk because your body feels a little more alive. You stretch your legs in the evening because your muscles appreciate the movement. These actions are no longer chores. They become natural extensions of the effort you have already invested in yourself. As the days progress, another change happens internally. You begin to trust yourself again. Many people experience years of broken habits, unfinished diets, abandoned routines, and promises they could not keep. This creates doubt, a feeling that change is too hard or inconsistency is inevitable. But when you stick to something as small and simple as a teaspoon of honey and a crushed clove of garlic, you prove to yourself that you can follow through. That small success rewires your belief system. You start to see yourself as someone who can commit, someone who can show up, someone who can take control of their health instead of drifting passively through each day. Small habits also reduce overwhelm. People often fail because they aim too high too quickly, extreme diets, intense workouts, major lifestyle changes all at once. Those approaches drain mental energy, and the moment life gets busy or stress rises, the habits collapse. But when you begin small, there is nothing to collapse. There is only growth. You are not fighting your willpower, you are building it. That strength builds steadily, and eventually it prepares you for bigger changes. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable because you have already proven to yourself that persistence is within your reach. Small habits also anchor your day with purpose. When you perform your nightly routine, you are closing your day with intention instead of letting it fade away in exhaustion or distraction. That moment becomes a reminder that your health matters, your well-being matters, your future matters. Older adults often believe that change is harder with age, but the truth is that the body never stops responding to care. The body loves consistency more than intensity. Gentle daily nourishment has more long-term impact than sudden, aggressive attempts to fix years of neglect. Garlic and honey symbolize that gentle approach. They become a ritual that whispers to your body that healing is still possible, strength is still possible, renewal is still possible. As you continue this routine, your self-awareness deepens. You notice how your body reacts, how your mind feels, how your habits align with your goals. This awareness is one of the most valuable elements of transformation. Change is not just physical, it begins with awareness. When you feel better, even slightly, you want better. You stop settling for habits that drain your energy. You naturally gravitate toward actions that uplift you. Soon your nights become calmer, your mornings clearer, your emotions steadier. All because one small habit became the doorway to broader lifestyle shifts. Eventually, the garlic and honey routine becomes more than a health practice. It becomes a symbol of your awakening, a symbol of your willingness to change, a symbol of your decision to value yourself. The transformation that begins in those 7 nights continues to ripple through your life as you realize that progress does not require perfection, giant leaps, or extraordinary effort. It requires only the quiet courage to start small and continue consistently without stopping, without giving up, without looking back. Healthy aging is built through simple daily choices. Clean nutrition, light movement, and mindful routines. And the beauty of this truth is that it gives every person, regardless of age or background, the power to shape their own well-being through the ordinary moments of everyday life. You don't need extreme diets, intense workouts, or complicated medicinal routines to age with strength, clarity, and vitality. What you need are small, steady decisions that signal to your body that you are still invested in its health and still committed to the long journey ahead. When you choose clean, nourishing foods, when you move your body even gently, when you follow routines that calm your mind and settle your spirit, you create a foundation for a longer, healthier, more fulfilling life. Aging then stops feeling like a decline and begins to feel like a transformation you have the power to guide. Clean nutrition is one of the most direct paths to healthy aging because the body responds immediately to the quality of what you feed it. Foods rich in natural vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber do more than fill your stomach. They repair your cells, support your organs, protect your immune system, and maintain your energy levels. Each time you choose fresh vegetables, colorful fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, you are sending powerful support to your body. Older adults sometimes believe that improvement must come from supplements or medications alone, but the truth is that the body is remarkably receptive to even small nutritional upgrades. Adding a handful of leafy greens, drinking an extra glass of water, replacing sugary snacks with nuts or berries, or eating mindfully instead of rushing through meals can create noticeable shifts in digestion, mood, energy, and overall vitality. Clean nutrition also influences inflammation, which plays a major role in aging. Many people do not realize that chronic inflammation, fueled by processed foods, excessive sugar, unhealthy fats, and overeating, accelerates aging from the inside out. But when you make gentle shifts toward cleaner eating, your body feels the difference. Your joints move more smoothly, your digestion becomes calmer, your sleep deepens, and your energy feels steadier throughout the day. These small dietary changes whisper to your body that it is safe, supported, and supplied with what it needs to heal. The more you honor your body through food, the more your body thanks you through improved function. Alongside nutrition, light movement is another essential pillar of healthy aging. Many people associate exercise with hard workouts, sweat, and intensity, but true longevity is supported by gentler, more consistent movement. The human body is designed to move, and as we age, movement becomes even more important. Muscles need stimulation to stay strong. Joints need motion to stay flexible. The heart needs activity to stay efficient. The brain needs circulation to stay sharp. Even 10 minutes of walking, stretching, or light mobility work can create a dramatic difference in how you feel each day. Light movement reduces stiffness, keeps balance strong, improves mood, enhances sleep, and boosts confidence in your physical abilities. When you embrace the idea that movement does not need to be painful or extreme, you free yourself from the pressure that stops so many people from exercising at all. A slow walk after dinner, a gentle stretch in the morning, lifting light weights while watching television, or simply being intentional about staying active throughout the day. All these tiny efforts compound into powerful effects. Movement is not about athletic performance. It is about maintaining independence, strength, and mobility. It is about continuing to live life on your own terms. Light movement signals to your body that you will not allow stiffness, weakness, or inertia to take over. It reminds your muscles that they are still needed, your bones that they must stay strong, your heart that it has work to do, and your mind that it must stay alert and engaged. But perhaps the most overlooked part of healthy aging is the role of mindful routines. The way you begin your day, the way you end your day, and the small habits in between shape your entire internal environment. Mindfulness does not require long meditation sessions or spiritual rituals. It begins with awareness. When you choose to slow down your mind, breathe deeply, and manage stress intentionally, you protect your body from one of the most harmful accelerators of aging, chronic stress. Stress affects sleep, hormones, digestion, heart health, immunity, and even your willingness to take care of yourself. But mindful routines such as drinking water in the morning, taking short breaks to breathe, practicing gratitude, keeping your environment organized, or shutting down screens early in the evening help reset your nervous system and restore balance to your life. Mindful routines also help create structure, and structure builds consistency. Consistency is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you age because the body loves predictability. When you sleep around the same time, eat around the same time, unwind in familiar ways, and maintain rituals that calm you, your body responds by functioning more smoothly. Your hormones stabilize, your energy levels even out, your digestion becomes regular, your mood becomes more balanced. This is how mindful living supports healthy aging. Not through dramatic moments, but through hundreds of tiny decisions that keep your life grounded and steady. Healthy aging is not something that happens by chance. It is the result of what you do today, what you repeat tomorrow, and what you sustain every week. When your decisions are simple, your progress becomes sustainable. When your habits are gentle, your mind does not resist them. When your routines feel manageable, you actually follow them. This is why small daily choices are so powerful. They don't intimidate you. They don't overwhelm you. They quietly guide you toward a healthier version of yourself. With time, these choices begin to change how you see yourself. You start recognizing your own strength. You start trusting your ability to improve. You start feeling proud of your consistency. That pride fuels even better habits because once you begin to feel good, you naturally want to feel better. And that desire becomes the foundation of longevity. Healthy aging becomes less about fighting the effects of time and more about embracing the opportunity to grow wiser, stronger, calmer, and more connected to your body each day. Clean nutrition, light movement, and mindful routines together form a gentle, powerful path forward. They allow you to nurture your body without pressure, heal your mind without overwhelm, and live each day with a quiet sense of control. Through these simple daily choices, you give yourself the chance to age not just longer, but better. The biggest benefit of the 7-day garlic and honey routine is the mindset shift towards self-care and discipline. because what truly transforms a person is not the ingredients they swallow, but the decision behind the action. When someone commits to a simple practice every night, they are not just feeding their body, they are training their mind. They are proving to themselves that they are capable of consistency, capable of routine, capable of showing up even when the task is small. Over time, this builds a mental foundation that becomes stronger than any supplement or remedy. It becomes the quiet voice inside that says, I can take care of myself. This voice is what people lose with age, stress, or years of postponed health goals, and it is exactly what this 7-day routine begins to restore. At first, the garlic and honey habit might feel like a tiny step, almost insignificant, but tiny steps are the ones that change direction. The moment you begin this routine, you are making a promise to yourself. You are carving out a moment in your day where your well-being is the priority. Most people struggle with self-care not because they lack information, but because they lack momentum. Their routines are inconsistent, their motivation fluctuates, and their mind feels cluttered with obligations. But this single nighttime habit acts like a mental anchor. It grounds you, it reminds you of your goals, and it starts building trust between you and yourself. Once that trust begins, everything else becomes easier. By the second or third day, the transformation is no longer about garlic and honey. It becomes about the feeling of doing something nurturing. You begin sensing a shift inside yourself. You start realizing that following a routine is not as hard as you once believed. This simple act becomes living proof that small changes are manageable. And once your brain registers that you are capable of completing one healthy action on a daily basis, it starts opening the door for more. You begin thinking, if I can do this, maybe I can walk for 10 minutes. Maybe I can drink more water. Maybe I can sleep earlier. You begin believing in your ability to create change again. Discipline is not built through huge efforts. It is built through repeated small actions that feel easy to maintain. The 7-day garlic and honey routine works because it is gentle. It does not overwhelm your mind. It does not require a strict schedule or complicated instructions. It simply requires you to show up for 1 minute each night. That low barrier of effort boosts your consistency, and consistency, even in tiny doses, is what strengthens the mental muscle of discipline. Once discipline strengthens, it spreads. It moves from one habit to another, creating a domino effect that touches all areas of your health. Another powerful part of this routine is how it reconnects you with yourself. Modern life makes many people feel disconnected from their own bodies. They rush through meals, skip self-care, ignore fatigue, and suppress stress. But when you dedicate a moment each night to take garlic and honey deliberately, your attention returns inward. You become aware of your breath, your thoughts, your habits, your intentions. Your mind slows down just enough for you to notice how you feel. That awareness is a critical part of self-care, because you cannot take care of yourself if you are not connected to your own needs. The 7-day ritual becomes a nightly pause where you check in with your body and mind. This pause also creates emotional stability. When you complete a small task repeatedly, your brain receives a signal of accomplishment. This releases tiny bursts of confidence, which accumulate each day. Gradually, you begin feeling more in control. This is especially important for older adults who may feel like life has become unpredictable or that their health is slipping away from them. This routine gives them something they can control. It empowers them with a sense of direction. It reminds them that they still have influence over their own well-being. That feeling alone can spark major shifts in attitude and behavior. Another layer of transformation happens when you make a choice that prioritizes your health at night right before sleep. The message you send to yourself is powerful. My health matters enough to end my day with care. This message influences your subconscious mind. When you go to sleep after taking garlic and honey, you are reinforcing a mindset of nurturing. You are ending your day with intention instead of allowing stress or distraction to dominate your final thoughts. When you repeat this night after night, your subconscious begins adopting a new identity, one of a person who takes care of themselves. The identity shift is even more important than the routine itself because once your identity changes, your behaviors naturally follow. With each passing day, the routine stops feeling like something you need to remember and starts feeling like something you naturally do. You begin to anticipate it. You start preparing for bedtime more calmly. You treat this moment as a personal ritual, something sacred and private. And in that ritual, a deeper transformation occurs. You begin valuing yourself again. You begin noticing the importance of small efforts. You begin seeing that self-care is not selfish, but essential. The garlic and honey mixture becomes a symbol of the respect you are rebuilding for your own body and life. Over time, this renewed respect shifts your priorities. You start saying no to habits that drain you. You start making choices that nourish you instead of harm you. You start becoming more selective about what you eat, how you spend your time, and what you allow into your mind. This is the true meaning of a mindset shift. It is not about thinking differently for one moment. It is about slowly reshaping your internal beliefs until healthier choices feel natural, automatic, and aligned with who you want to be. The discipline developed over these 7 days also strengthens emotional resilience. When you accomplish something consistently, even something small, your inner dialogue changes. You stop saying, "I can't stick to anything," and start saying, "I can do this." You stop doubting yourself and start relying on yourself. You stop feeling defeated by past failures and start seeing new possibilities. This internal transformation is far more valuable than the physical benefits of garlic and honey. It prepares you to handle challenges with confidence, to build new routines without fear, and to continue improving your health long after the 7 days are over. By the end of the week, you realize that the garlic and honey mixture was never the main goal. The real goal was awakening your instinct to care for yourself. The real goal was rebuilding consistency. The real goal was discovering that discipline is not about force. It is about gentle repetition. The real goal was proving to yourself that transformation begins not with intensity, but with intention. Your body is capable of healing and renewal at any age when supported with good food, movement, and rest, because the human body is not a machine that simply wears out. It is a living system designed to repair, restore, and rebuild itself when given the chance. Every cell, every organ, and every system in your body carries the memory of regeneration. The only question is whether your daily habits support that natural process or interfere with it. When you nourish your body with real foods, move it in ways that promote circulation and strength, and allow it to rest deeply, you activate the same biological intelligence that heals wounds, rebuilds tissues, restores balance, and keeps you alive every single day. Aging is not the end of healing. It is simply a stage of life where the body needs more consistency, more love, and more intentional care to perform the miracles it is still fully capable of performing. Good food serves as the foundation of this healing potential. When you feed your body nutrient-rich foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, herbs, spices, you are giving your cells the raw materials they need to repair and function properly. Every bite you take sends a message to your body. Processed foods send a message of inflammation, stress, and deficiency. Natural foods send a message of nourishment, strength, and renewal. Even small dietary improvements can lead to remarkable changes. Eating more greens can oxygenate your blood. Adding berries can protect your cells from damage. Including nuts and seeds can support your brain and heart. These changes may seem simple, but simplicity is often what your body responds to best. As you age, digestion can slow, metabolism can shift, and nutrient needs can increase. But none of these changes signal that your body is done. Instead, they are reminders that your food choices matter even more now than ever before. When you choose foods that are easier to digest, rich in nutrients, and free from harmful additives, your body can use more of its energy for healing instead of fighting inflammation. With every balanced meal, you give your body permission to repair what needs attention. You support your liver, your heart, your brain, your skin, your joints, your digestion, your hormones, and your immune system. Real healing does not come from one superfood or one diet. It comes from consistent nourishment that tells your body it has what it needs to thrive. Movement is the second powerful pillar of renewal because your body was designed to stay in motion. Every time you move, you increase circulation, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your cells. Light exercise stimulates the brain, strengthens the muscles, lubricates the joints, and supports the heart. You don't need intense workouts to activate healing. Gentle walking, stretching, slow mobility routines, Tai Chi, yoga, or even simple home exercises can awaken muscles that have been neglected, improve balance, and keep your bones strong. Movement sends a message to your body, I am still using you. You matter. Stay strong. Many people believe that aging means losing strength, flexibility, and mobility, but much of that decline comes from inactivity, not age itself. When you move regularly, your body responds immediately. Muscles grow, joints loosen, posture improves, circulation increases, mood lifts, energy rises. These changes happen at every age, even in your 60 seconds, 70 seconds, 80 seconds, and beyond. The body never stops adapting. It never stops responding. It never stops learning. The moment you start moving again, the healing process begins. It may be slow at first, but slow progress is still progress, and every movement builds momentum for the next. Rest is the third essential key to the body's ability to heal. While food provides fuel and movement stimulates growth, rest is when your body performs its deepest repair work. During sleep, your brain detoxifies, your immune system strengthens, your cells regenerate, and your hormones rebalance. Rest also includes moments of calm during the day, breathing deeply, relaxing your muscles, pausing your mind. Stress is one of the greatest barriers to healing, and when your life moves too quickly or your mind stays tense for too long, your body cannot fully repair itself. But when you allow yourself to slow down, when you honor your need for sleep, when you protect your peace, your body finally has the environment it needs to heal. Many older adults underestimate the role of rest, thinking it's just taking a break, but rest is a biological necessity. You cannot build strength without recovery. You cannot rebuild your tissues without downtime. You cannot sharpen your mind without mental stillness. Rest is the quiet force that holds your health together. And when paired with good food and movement, it becomes the final piece of the healing puzzle. The combination of nutrition, movement, and rest creates a powerful cycle that supports renewal at every stage of life. When you nourish your body, you fuel your movement. When you move your body, you improve your ability to rest. When you rest properly, your body can use the nutrients you consume and the movement you perform to strengthen and rebuild you. This cycle continues every day, quietly supporting you, often without you even realizing it. Aging does not break this cycle. It only makes the cycle more important. Your body is not fragile. It is adaptable. It responds to your choices. When you give it healing foods, it rebuilds. When you give it movement, it strengthens. When you give it rest, it renews. And when you combine all three, you unlock a level of wellness that many people believe is impossible after a certain age. But your body does not know age the way your mind does. It knows only what you feed it, how you move it, and how you allow it to recover. If you give it consistency, it gives you resilience. If you give it care, it gives you energy. If you give it time, it gives you transformation. Every day is a chance to support this natural healing power. Every meal is a chance to nourish your cells. Every walk is a chance to activate circulation. Every night of rest is a chance to repair your body from the inside out. Even if you feel tired or worn down, even if you think your best days are behind you, your body still holds an extraordinary ability to heal. It waits for your cooperation. It waits for your choices. It waits for you to give it the environment it needs to flourish. When you commit to these simple pillars, good food, steady movement, and deep rest, you awaken the healing intelligence that has been within you since the day you were born, ready to renew you, strengthen you, and support you at any age. The real value is not in the ingredients alone, but in the confidence and momentum created by taking action, because when you choose to start something simple, consistent, and intentional, you begin to wake up a part of yourself that has been waiting for direction. Garlic and honey may seem like a small ritual, something easy enough to overlook or dismiss, but the truth is that the power behind it comes from your decision to show up every single night for yourself, to make a promise to your body and follow through with it, and to remind your mind that you are still in control of the way your life moves forward. Every time you take that spoonful, it isn't just about the nutrients or the antioxidants or the natural support for your immune system. It's about the signal you send to yourself that says you are worth effort, you are worth discipline, and you are willing to invest in your own well-being, even if the world around you feels heavy or demanding. This small act becomes a quiet conversation between you and the person you want to become, a person who doesn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, but takes the first step right where they are. Momentum in life rarely comes from dramatic decisions or giant changes. It comes from the tiny actions you repeat even when no one sees you, even when you're tired, even when progress feels slow. When you commit to 7 nights of a simple garlic and honey routine, you train your mind to recognize that consistency is possible for you, that you can stick to a routine, that you can keep a promise, and that you can build a new identity based on action rather than intention. This momentum spills over into other parts of your life. You might notice yourself drinking more water without thinking about it, choosing a lighter dinner, walking for a few minutes after sunset, stretching your body before bed, or paying more attention to your breathing. Small shifts begin to add up because action creates energy, and energy creates direction. What happens inside you is even more powerful. When you take action toward better health, your brain releases chemicals that reinforce motivation, clarity, and emotional stability. You begin to feel proud of yourself, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a quiet, steady, deeply rooted way. You begin to see that taking care of yourself doesn't require perfection or expensive routines. It requires willingness and follow-through. That willingness becomes a spark that lights up the desire to keep improving. Not because you feel pressured, but because you begin to feel the difference in your energy, your digestion, your sleep, and even the way your body responds to stress. The garlic and honey ritual becomes a symbol of commitment, a reminder that healing starts with one small decision repeated many times. Older adults especially benefit from this kind of action-based momentum because aging is not just a physical process, it is a mental transformation as well. When you prove to yourself that you can still build habits, still make changes, still strengthen your body, and still shape your future, you break the belief that aging means slowing down in every way. Instead, you realize that the mind remains teachable, the body remains adaptable, and growth remains available to you at every age. This mindset shift builds confidence, not the kind that comes from achieving something big, but the kind that comes from realizing that you are still capable of guiding your health instead of surrendering to circumstance. You feel more alive simply because you are participating in your own well-being rather than watching it from the sidelines. The ingredients themselves are helpful, yes, but the deeper transformation is in the act of choosing them. It is in preparing your little mixture, in carving out a moment for yourself, in slowing down your mind before bedtime, and in reminding yourself that every day you get another chance to improve even a tiny bit. For many people, the hardest part of any journey is starting. Once you start, you teach your brain that movement is possible. Once you keep going, you teach your heart that discipline is within you. Once you finish the 7 days, you teach your entire being that you can follow through. That inner confidence is worth more than any supplement, any complex routine, or any external motivation. When you create momentum from within, it carries you into better choices naturally, without forcing, without guilt, and without pressure. And then something beautiful happens. You begin to trust yourself again. You trust your ability to stay committed. You trust your intuition when your body tells you what it needs. You trust your own strength. That trust builds self-respect, and self-respect builds better habits. You may find yourself adding a warm cup of water in the morning, including more whole foods in your meals, taking short walks during the day, or choosing earlier bedtime simply because your body begins to crave the peace and clarity that come with healthier choices. What started as a 7-day experiment becomes the foundation for a more intentional life. You feel stronger not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, because action always creates transformation long before the results show up on the outside. You begin to see that health is not a finish line, but a collection of moments where you choose yourself. It is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is not about the ingredients alone. It is about the energy you bring into the decision. The garlic and honey routine becomes a small spark that awakens something larger inside you. It becomes proof that you can create change through tiny actions repeated consistently. You begin to feel that your future is still in motion, still open, still within your influence. You feel less stuck, less discouraged, less overwhelmed, because you have taken ownership of your next steps. The real value is the confidence you gain, the belief you rebuild, the discipline you practice, and the momentum that begins to carry you into healthier days, clearer nights, and a more empowered version of yourself, because every action you take reminds you that you are capable of change, capable of effort, capable of improvement, and capable of shaping the quality of your life at any age through simple, intentional steps. And as you reach the end of these 7 days, you begin to understand that the real gift was never just the garlic or the honey, but the version of you that emerged along the way, the one who showed discipline, who chose consistency, who proved that taking care of yourself is still within your power. You may notice changes in your energy, your digestion, your sleep, or your confidence, but even more important is the quiet realization that small habits can reshape your entire direction. This experience becomes proof that your health is not fixed, your future is not sealed, and your potential has not expired. You've created momentum, belief, and trust in your ability to take action. And that momentum can now carry you into healthier meals, lighter movements, deeper rest, and a mindset that refuses to give up on you. Keep going, keep choosing yourself, and let this simple 7-day ritual be the spark that leads you into a stronger, brighter, more empowered chapter of your life.